let's get back to the matter at hand of the San Francisco 49ers. Is there a seance happening in Santa Clara? Did anybody want to get together and maybe clean the house like Poltergeist? You know, what do we got here, Matt? What do you think?
I don't know what to tell you, Rich, because that is like the topic and has been the topic for years, it seems like. You know, 49ers, if they aren't the most injured team in football, being so close to it, and the fan base certainly believes they are. And it's hard to argue. You know, I know there are injuries throughout the league. Football is a violent sport, and that injuries are part of it. It just seems like the 49ers, year in, year out, by and large, have more than their fair share of injuries. And why that is, I don't know. I don't know that anybody really knows. It's not like they're all the same types of injuries. You know, some of them are freaks, some of them are just, soft tissue injuries. You know, you got broken bones, you have torn ACLs. It's just, non-contact ACLs, contact ACLs. You're right. I mean, it kind of seems like they're cursed, but here they are, 3 games in with a 3-0 record.
Yeah, I know. If you took an MRI of the standings, it would come back clean.
It would.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then they'd probably go for a second opinion and it would show something else.
The second opinion of the longtime listeners, first-time callers, right? So let's jump into the positives and those who might be returning. Is Brock Purdy one of them for this weekend against Jacksonville, do you think, Matt?
I think so. Yeah, he practiced more on Wednesday than he did the previous week. It's been trending in a positive direction. No setbacks after that, mild turf toe, certainly not a Joe Burrow level of turf toe that he sustained in week 1. So he is able to get out there for some limited work last week. I don't think there was really much of a chance that he would play against Arizona, but things seem to be looking more positive this week. He practiced on Wednesday, and then today when they get out there in about 4 hours or so, probably have a little bit better idea, how he's feeling after that. But if I were a betting man, I would think I would go with Brock Purdy getting his first start since week 1 this coming Sunday against Jacksonville.
And then what about Kittle? Where is he on the return? I know he's on the IR, which meant 4 games was definitely going to be it. Is it more than that? What are you hearing about him?
Yeah, so he would miss the Thursday night game a week from today against the Rams. That is off the table. And then I think once that happens, once he gets through that, then it becomes a week-to-week thing. So the following game would be 10 days later against Tampa Bay. So I think that's on the table, but that's going to be up in the air a little bit. And then, Brandon Ayuk, he's still on IR. He's eligible to come off of IR after this game Sunday, but he certainly won't come back on an early week and probably looking a little bit more down the line. I'm sure they'll want to see him on the practice field for a week or 2 before they make that decision of when to bring him off of IR. So, theoretically speaking, once they get to around the mid-season mark, other than Nick Bosa, the hope for the 49ers is that they get guys back and that offense will have to start carrying more of the load without one of their top defensive players out there.
Yeah, before we get to the Bosa and how to replace him. So you're basically saying this crucial stretch of short week visit to the Rams and then at Tampa, which, potentially, who knows, could be a battle of unbeatens. There's a lot of miles to go before we get to that one as a possibility. Those 2 back-to-back games might be Kittle-less and definitely Ayuk-less for the Niners, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's Kittle, and I would say I'd be very surprised if Kittle or Ayuk. Well, Kittle can't, but I don't think Ayuk won't be out there for that Thursday game against the Rams. When you look at that schedule right there and you see those back-to-back games, Rams and Tampa Bay, those are difficult games, obviously, even if the 49ers were full. Even if they were the 49ers, you would expect them to be, in the offseason. This is their full team. So I think that puts so much more pressure and emphasis on this game against Jacksonville because, 49ers are playing that last place schedule. And so there's not a whole lot of daunting games on that schedule. But other than, playing at the Rams, who I'm sure now are the favorites to win the NFC West, and then at Tampa Bay, I mean, those are two of the more difficult games on the schedule on paper. So it really puts an added emphasis on taking care of business in the games that they need to win. And this game coming up week 4 against Jacksonville at Levi Stadium is a game that they can't let get away from them.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.